Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be.
You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel.
Yes!
That's how you waffle.
Mr. This script got a plot twist at a Radisson hotel.
A business big leaguer.
Go for key.
Even the ultimate pool float inflator.
With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true.
Gotta get the corn.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KeaversVoice.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties through its programs Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working.
Never not working. Never ever not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield. Never not working.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's Roy Evans. We are live here with the BCS and Game Time show, and we're having some fun. We're at a good place. My man is here. My dude. My brother from another mother. How you doing there, homie?
I'm tired. I'm fresh off the road, fresh off of the turnpike, 75 north, 475. My hamstrings are barking. But I'm here. I'm glad I made it. It was a great
him
ride.
Straight to work. Yeah,
I come in the door just to say hello, and already the Boston put me to work.
Sit down. Let's do it. Let's go. Man, we got people watching.
I'm feeling good. It's good to be here. Glad to be back in the A.
All right. We're gonna everybody else, y'all tune in, get yourselves ready. HBCU band talk. Listen, because we're at the MEAC SWAC challenge.
Shout out Theron. What up, Theron? Good to see you.
You know him. Okay,
yeah.
Well, cool. I need you to get in touch with me. We need to talk. Even though you are a Wildcat, we're not going to let you hold that against us today. We need to talk to you about some stuff, though. So everybody else, y'all chime in, man. Let us know where you're tuning in from, what you're getting ready for. Dude, football season starts tomorrow.
It does. I was soaking up quite a few different podcast shows and some different things. And, hold on. That's a great reminder. Let me put my phone vibrate too. You know, the boss's phone goes off right in the middle of the broadcast. Real professional outfit that we got here running.
Look,
see, I'm on mute. Okay, see, I beat you.
Yeah, right.
No. I'm excited. You know, week 0 is a good thing. I listening to a couple of sports talk shows this morning, and for us Rattlers, our neighboring school in the city of Tallahassee, they're playing as well this weekend, and they're like, and they're not giving
in Dublin. Who cares that they're playing? I don't want to hear that.
Well, no, a lot of
people.
Look,
the only FSU I acknowledge is Fayetteville State.
Oh, see, look at you. Anyway, where I was going with that is saying, in terms of reminding people that, hey, there is a feature game. So whenever you have a chance to remind people, and I would say this to Spartans, I'd say this to Rattlers, whenever people are talking about week 0 in the college football starting, you need to get in those Twitter mentions and the Instagram and let them know that there is another game that's happening, and it's on prime time. It is 7:30 p.m. Saturday on ABC. That's the big 3-letter network, as well as ESPN. Let the people know that there is a game being featured. I mean, a lot of times they don't talk about our game because it's a FCS game, but we, as people of the HBCU diaspora, as Rattlers and Spartans, we have to remind them. So I encourage everyone this weekend to flood the Twitter replies, the quote tweet. Anytime you see something mentioning week 0 happening, let them know the Rattlers and Spartans are playing in the MEAC SWAC Challenge in Atlanta, 7:30 p.m. on ABC and ESPN. Period. Let them know.
I mean, dude, it's 7:30 on ABC.
No. But
on
you
Saturday night.
No. You and see. Trust me, as someone who pays attention to this media space, because I mean, you may laugh at this, but because there's no active gambling line, so you have those markets that don't talk about the game, and then of course they look down on FCS. But this is a big deal. This is a big. There is nobody else in the FCS playing on ABC except at the end of the year when they have the national championship game. So if we don't promote it, so that's what I'm saying. And I know a lot of us watch and listen to, some, I'm not saying all, but a lot of us, maybe have grown up or we paid attention to Power 5 and of course sports talk radio, and they talk about those things. And so we have to be the advocates and reminding those people that, hey, after you finish watching whatever game is playing in Dublin and whatever podunk game is in the afternoon, hey, you want to soak up some football, tune in Saturday night, prime time, ABC, 7:30 p.m. I can't say it enough times. I'm doing the promotion. I know Mr. John Grant, the checks, put the check in the mail.
In the mail. Let's get it in
check
the mail.
in the mail. But we have to be the ones to kind of talk about it and advocate for the great exposure that the teams and from both teams and the young men and the coaches and just the bands. I mean, my God. I mean, we were just listening to we were listening. I think it was the 100. I think it was the 100 practicing.
It was 100. Marcus is saying yes.
I'm waiting to see if the Spartan Legion is out there. But
actually, I think they were out a little while ago because I heard another band about an hour ago that was out practicing.
I mean, we're going to have two of the. I'd have to say probably two of the top 5. I'm gonna go top 5. Two of the top 5 bands in the HBCU. And Theron, you in the chat. I know you're gonna throw your Wildcats in there, but if you agree, let us know. Two of the top 5 are the Spartan Legion and the Marching 100, and they will be on display here. So it's a lot of positive things happening that we need to continue to promote and share.
Look, we've been doing this for a long time, y'all. So no, he's absolutely right. Brian is well on it. We've got to make sure that we talk about our product because nobody else is.
Exactly.
They're not out there talking about it. That was one of the whole reasons that we started the Black College Sports Network, because we couldn't find information on HBCUs in the cities where they had HBCUs. I mean, it was next to impossible when we were in school to find stuff on FAMU, or FAMU athletics. Let there be a scandal. Now everybody wants us on their news channel.
Everybody knows what happened.
Right.
When there's dirt to dig up and throw on the grave. I mean, everybody's got a shovel.
But listen, man, we know what the HBCU product is. We know the value of it, and we've always wanted to live it, and we're going to continue to live it. We're going to be expecting Dr. Cavill. Some of those folks are going to roll through here in a little bit. Kelvin Carter, Alcorn in the building. He'll be coming back through in a few. Like I said, Marcus is here. 2/3 of the
two-thirds of the ONG are here.
1/3.
Oh, well, he's 1/3. I'm 2/3 are here now. 2/3.
Look, my math is bad, but it ain't that bad.
Okay. Well, we can see if our brother Kelvin
is in town. They said he was here.
Well, see, he's on sort of a what do you call this? A sports fantasy heaven. I mean, he's got all of his teams in the city. Last night he was in he was at the Braves Stadium.
Right.
Today, he's a Falcons fan, so he's already
at the practice.
No, there's a game today.
There
preseason game against the Jaguars, so he's going to that. And then of course his Rattlers. So I mean, man, look, he is in heaven this weekend. He's talking about that on Wednesday. So hopefully we'll see him, but I understand if we
his head in or whatever.
Yeah, I understand if we don't see him. I know where he's at. Probably pre-game and getting ready for the Falcons preseason game. But I get it though. I get it.
So Marcus and his lovely wife are over there partaking in the food. Remember, folks, we are right here from Bullpen Ribs and BBQ. We gonna get some stuff we gotta make sure to
put the address and everything on the screen.
You're
and
right.
All that stuff.
You're absolutely right. We'll do that coming back here from the next break. But we're gonna have some food to show you some of the stuff, man. Look here. They have some smoked wings that are full. Oh,
fire.
One of y'all got the wings?
Fire.
Holla at your boy.
Fire.
Yeah, my man Joe is gonna be tight, but you come to a rib joint like he told me. We gotta have some bones. So we're going to bring out some of the bones. Heard the brisket was great. So we're going to bring out some of that, let you guys check some of that out. You know us. Yeah, we're going to eat in front of you. But, we don't feel bad. You can always make your way down here for all of those who are here in Atlanta and ready to get ready for the MEAC SWAC Challenge, the kickoff of the HBCU football season. Man.
Let me give a quick shout out to Ashton Harris, man, my guy, a Rattler. He hit me up. He's staying right next door. So shout out to Ashton and any other Rattlers that are in the house. And even I ran into a couple young brothers who are Spartans.
Okay.
A couple, probably maybe I don't know. They graduated at 17 or something like that. Young guys, but I bumped into them on the way here. I had to make a quick stop, and bumped into them, and so it was. I told them about it. So hopefully we'll see some Spartans, but I mean, hopefully we'll see a decent crowd.
You know what? Yeah. And listen, folks, here is this Kelvin walking in? And we got that. See, we got the yell.
He heard the call, and the boss, he gonna walk right through the camera shot. That's Kelvin, right? Walking right through the camera shot.
So listen,
that of course you saw half of Kelvin walk through the shot. That was Kelvin who walked through the shot. Yes, we are live, and Kelvin just walked on
right in front
of the
camera, and then did the pregnant pause, right?
Totally oblivious to what's happening.
So look, we're gonna do this. We're actually gonna get ready to come back. We're gonna take a quick break.
Live
we're
TV.
Gonna come back, get some things going. Hey, folks, tune in. Let it is. We're gonna talk some MEAC SWAC Challenge. But before we do leave, one of the things I did want to say is listen, what we have to realize is HBCU fans, that this game is about the entire HBCU diaspora, because all our HBCUs have somewhat similar clout when you start looking outside of our culture. Because most folks don't know the difference between what a FAMU is in athletics and what a Morehouse is. They don't. So we've got to, like Brian was saying, we've got to make sure that we promote and push this stuff and get it going. Jimmy Mack then stepped in. What's happening?
Shout out Jimmy Mack. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for checking in.
Say bring home that dub. That's right. Bringing home that dub. We're going to shout out a few more people, guys. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to take our first quick break. I'm going to go ahead and put that order in so y'all get a chance to look at how good the food is while we putting it in our faces. And then we're going to do some other things, man. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back with more right here on the BCSN Game Time Show.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less. So it's always worth it. Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora. as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles.
Atlanta, Georgia. The HBCU football capital hosts the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge on August 24th. Florida A&M Rattlers, Norfolk State Spartans. SWAC versus MEAC. The rivalry is real. Come out to Center Park Stadium to see the returning HBCU national champions and two of the best HBCU bands in the land, the Marching 100 and the Spartan Legion. The day starts with a kickoff fan experience tailgate and concludes with a primetime matchup on ABC. For more information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome back to the BCSN Game Time Show. We are live here from Bullpen Ribs and BBQ. Yes. We're going to have some stuff coming up soon. But, you know, we've been doing a lot, man, getting things ready, getting things together. One of the things that you all know about us is that we are staunch supporters and advocates for Black-owned businesses and folks that do different things. And so right now we want to introduce you to somebody who's actually been helping us out and been getting our stuff together. If you remember our backdrops that you saw with us having at SWAC Media Day, SIAC Media Day, this is the man that handled that stuff for us. Antoine Dwayne Jones, President, CEO of ADJ Media.
Yep.
He is the hottest celebrity photographer in Atlanta. I tell everybody that all the time. He is also an HBCU alum.
Definitely.
Fayetteville State University, Broncos, yes, correct?
For sure.
So he's getting this thing in and doing there. And of course, he is a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. Yeah, doing this thing. So we're going to do that and talk about it a little bit. So I had to get him in here and wanted to definitely talk to him a little bit. You guys see these water bottles. Right. We're going to come into that. But I'm going to let you say a little bit more about yourself. Tell folks, you know, who you are, man.
Well, I mean, we can go on and on, but I'm a dad first. I am a multi-business owner. So we have a lot of businesses out there. But, I mean, right now, I'm known as a photographer, but all the businesses have got to stem from that. So right now, ADJ Media is the photography company going well, 19 and a half years strong. This is my 25th year as a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. So I'm celebrating that. It's the 70th year for Pod Chapter. I'm celebrating that. So single letter chapter, Fayetteville State University. I'm really excited about what's going on in 2024.
So there y'all go again. Y'all in them single letter chapters.
Hey,
we get it. We get it.
You know how we do.
All right. So one of his other businesses that he does have is Runneth Water. It's Runneth Alkaline Water. If you watched any of our basketball season this past year, you'll know that we did the Runneth Thirst Response for second half of basketball games, which will be rolling back in as we get ready for football season, because it is your thirst response. There it is, man. I like the league. He got the little hooks and everything.
Man, that's that HBCU degree right there. Just so y'all know.
Tell the folks a little bit about the product, man.
Well, I mean, it is Black-owned from top to bottom. It's a 7+ pH, really, really close to 8 pH. Natural alkaline spring water brand, owned by Kappa. The Springs is owned by Kappa. We are our own private label through that. So we're just trying to get Black and brown folks back into actually drinking the amount of water that you're supposed to drink a day. You're supposed to drink a gallon of water a day. Most of us don't drink a cup of water a day. So
listen, I've been real slack the last few weeks, and I got to get back on myself.
So it's like I'm the owner now, so it's like I got to be cognizant of my water intake, and I'm doing my best, because it is something that you have to actively think about doing. You know, we drinking sodas and juices and teas and all that stuff. Just sweet tea with all the sugar that grandma made. Like, we drinking all that, but are we drinking enough water? It's time to get that done.
Listen, man, I tell you, people don't realize just how much water you should have, and how much. What do they say? How much of our bodies is water?
Right.
And water is one of those things that is a natural way for you to stay healthy, because it flushes your system, it keeps you going. So that's one of the things that we want to get into. What do you get into as it relates to HBCU sports, man? Who are you looking at? We know you're a Broncos fan,
right? I mean, I'm a CIAA man. But I love HBCU, so I'm just kind of following everybody. Same with football. Fayetteville State, CIAA. I'm actually a Golden Bronco because I started at Johnson C. Smith and transferred to Fayetteville State, so I'm really CIAA through and through. But I'm interested to see what what fam does this year. I'm interested to see how Jackson State comes back around. It's just so much football that is going to be. I mean, it's an amazing thing to just have football. I'm an Ohio State fan by birth, so it's a lot of stuff that I'm just going to be in front of the TV watching some good quality football this year.
All right. Now, look, folks, I talked a little bit about it, but I want to make sure that I show you some of the stuff that this brother does, man, and some of his work. See a little flash video. His website is adjmedia.co. So, you see some of this stuff, man, high school pictures.
Yeah, I started as a fashion photographer, so everything has a little bit of gusto like that. But I mean, we're doing what we can do, and we're doing it for affordable, so that everybody can look and feel like a celebrity. I know people throw that term around, like Roy throws that celebrity photographer term around, but at the end of the day, anybody steps in front of my lenses is going to look and feel like a celebrity. So we're going to get it done.
All right, let's see. Let's go to some of the events, because we are definitely going to talk about the Pearly Awards.
Oh yeah, you got
we got a Majority Greek. That's right.
Go to the Majority Greek website for that. But
okay.
Yeah. So
this is some of the things. But so let me stop this share, and you come in, tell folks a little bit about the Pearly Awards, and I will get to that website while you do that.
Okay, so realistically, in 2019, I started a magazine called Majority Greek. I moved to Atlanta, and the Greek life was just so prevalent. I mean, it's 200 plus chapters in the Atlanta metro area. So while I was shooting cover shoots and fashion magazines and all this stuff, I started to create like an Essence magazine for Greeks, right? Identify with our, D9 and other. It's a little bit different insight than what maybe the public sees of us, because once you get to the doctors, the judges, and the lawyers, they aren't necessarily in paraphernalia all day. They're not necessarily on TikTok, or they're working in the community. They're the pillars of the community. So we started that. COVID came and everything changed. So when we came out of COVID, I decided to add like a Stellar Awards. And now we have the Essence magazine for Greeks. We have the on both halves is honoring people that are doing amazing minority fraternity. Which is we've already done Houston, and we have Fayetteville, North Carolina in November, Birmingham in 4, and as of shows growing like to go to different cities and states and honor and give credit where credit is due from 9 people. Amazing things.
Now, I'm going to assume that you're the one who shot all these cover photos.
Now, I have shot literally probably 95% of every issue we've had, because I mean, again, it's a startup, so I have to use my talents to get the message across, and hopefully soon, I won't have to do everything, but we're gonna get it done one way or another.
Shout out to Brother Ray. Yeah, right. had to get Brother Ray's
right.
Brother Ray's thing out there. Let's see. Here's a power couple. Let's get theirs up there.
Right, the Neelys, man.
That's
amazing.
right.
Omega Man and the AKAs. They're some amazing folks. So it's an opportunity to be in a national magazine, or if you're really, really moving and shaking, you can get your own issue and show yourself off. So it's a wonderful thing.
Give them the website.
Website for the Pearly Awards and Majority Greek magazine is majoritygreek.com. You can find us there, the events. You can submit nominations for the Pearly Award for of the year, so Sigma of the year, Delta of the year, AKA of the year, in whatever prospective city. So keep a lookout on Instagram, Majority Greek, and our other Instagram is the Pearly Awards. So you can get it done.
Hey, so Brian, Edward Moore is asking, is the lightning and the blue in the logo a Sigma thing? Yeah, but at least for me, that's what it is. Hey, I do most of the designing for the show, game time shows when I like. So of course, Edward, it is. Shout out to Mary 305 who's in the building. She tuning in and checking us out. But listen, man, it's great. This brother has a lot of stuff, man. You guys make sure you check him out. Find out about what's going on. Like you said, the Pearly Awards started here in Atlanta. They were in Houston about a month or so ago. Yeah, back in July. They're going to be coming to places all across the country, so you guys will be able to do it. So look for Majority Greek magazine,
right?
The Pearly Awards,
right?
And then just check out ADJ Media, man. Like I said, he's got some really dope stuff and get some things in there. Runneth Water, go out and get yours. Order a case, get you some water in there. You got a black-owned business, restaurant, and you need a black-owned water thing.
Come with it.
All you Kappas, y'all jump in the building. Hey, get on in here and get y'all stuff, and let's get you engaged in it too.
Right.
Since the owner of the Springs is a Cap, like I said, we're trying to keep it all in the family, as we like to say.
Absolutely.
And we're going to get more things going, but we're going to have more stuff coming in. What we're going to do is we're going to take us another quick break. We come back, and the ONG is in the building. All thirds of the ONG are here, and they are ready to go. So we're going to give those cats the mic and let them talk a little MEAC trash and Rattler trash. You know how we do, because that's just what we do. As you know, as we like to say, we brag differently. But again, check them out. ADJ Media, man. We'll be back right here. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna see what Edwin over here laughing about something. And he says, hello, Mary 305. Have you started your SWAC MEAC weekend yet? Hey, listen, it's already people here getting it on and getting stuff going. So we know it's going to be a whole lot of fun, man. But you guys stay tuned. We'll be right back with more right here on the BCSN Game Time Show.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it. Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles.
Atlanta, Georgia. The HBCU football capital hosts the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge on August 24th. Florida A&M Rattlers, Norfolk State Spartans. SWAC versus MEAC. The rivalry is real. Come out to Center Park Stadium to see the returning HBCU national champions and two of the best HBCU bands in the land, the Marching 100 and the Spartan Legion. The day starts with a kickoff fan experience tailgate and concludes with a primetime matchup on ABC. For more information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember. They can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody.
Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less. So it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
All right, we're live. All right. Let me see. You got it? All right. Hey, welcome back. It's we're going live here. We're doing it all the way live. Trying to tempt us with a plate of some. What you got there? What you got there, boss?
Ribs and brisket.
You gonna leave this in front of? Oh my God. One rib. Don't worry.
I put an order in already.
One rib per person. One rib per person.
One rib.
One rib. All right. Come on, boss. Look at this, boss. Unbelievable. We can't see you. All we see is nothing but Sigma. So all right. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. Welcome back to the BCSN and Game Time live here at Bullpen Ribs and BBQ here across the street from Center Park Stadium. And of course, as you can see, it's the brothers of the O&G Strike Zone, Brian Fulford, Kelvin Roger, Marcus Green. Everybody, of course, you brothers were smart enough to get here yesterday while I struggled to get here. So last 24 hours, the city of Atlanta's buzzing. Yesterday, kind of go just give people the summary of what was happening yesterday here in the A.
Well, I didn't get on the road when I was supposed to get on the road. So, but I went to the Braves game, packed out, beautiful venue, great food, enjoyed the food. Got to the main clubhouse to get my Rattler Brave hat. And there was one on display, and there was a brother in front of me. He didn't have no FAMU stuff on, and he grabbed it off the display. And I told him to go in the back and see if, hey, check, make sure y'all, that's all your inventory. He's like, no, FAMU sold out. FAMU and Morehouse, they sold out. They said they didn't sell not one Grambling hat though. They was Jones and Grambling pretty hard. So, and there were Grambling fans, at least the gear on in the stadium, but they said they didn't sell not one. But the Rattler hat sold out. So that's what I did yesterday in the day. Kind of went to City Market, a new place I hadn't checked out before. My daughter kind of found it, and it was nice. It was very eclectic, different, and of course now I'm here with the brethren.
Tilt it, but don't drop it.
You tilt it, but don't drop. Okay, now that's good right there. That's a good. Hey, that's good right there. Right there. That's a great. Come back just a hair.
Smoked sausage.
There you go. Right there. Perfect.
Wings. The jumbo wings and ribs with the baked beans and the collard greens, and you know how we do it. and I got a cold one waiting on me with it.
Yes, Edwin's asking are those yes, yeah, I think those are collard greens, no doubt. Yes, food is good, Kylan, definitely. Appreciate everybody for checking in early. Marcus, you were at you were at the game? Yes?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't go to the game. We got in early yesterday. Had a little adventure and everything. Flew down from up north. But as soon as I got on a plane, I had on a FAMU shirt, and this guy in first class looked up at me and said, "Norfolk State all the way." I was like,
wow. I tell you that for a group of for a fan base that we don't really hear about often in the year, and I mean that with all love, Norfolk State. Remember, my people, I'm a child of Sparta, so I have Spartan blood in me. But we don't see Norfolk State in this big classic, big event space. So it is kind of interesting seeing them, move like Aggies and other folks who kind of are in these big time events. And so it'll be interesting to kind of see what the crowd is like. I bumped into a couple of young Norfolk State grads who hopefully they're checking out the live feed. I gave them my Twitter handle, so hopefully you Spartans.
The Spartan Legion will be represented. Then they're gonna have 5 more people.
Well, I met 3, so they're gonna have a little more than 5. My let me see. My two uncles will be there, so that's 5. So the 3 brothers I met, my 2 uncles and my dad. So now we got 6. So we got 6. There'll be 6. You might be right on point there. Hold on, Melanie wins. She says she's here, so I know she's a Spartan, so she will be in the house. Make sure. The 7. So there you go, Melanie. You now make 7. Good. But no, it'll be interesting to kind of see what Spartan Nation does. We heard the Spartan Legion kind of practicing the national anthem. Norfolk State is the home team in this contest. So that's kind of how they ended up on the home side. But we know that there's going to be orange covering 75% of the stadium. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
75% of the stadium is going to be orange.
I was walking around earlier today. Then tried to go to the College Football Hall of Fame, and they're closed today. I guess they have a private meeting, but I was walking around there waiting at 10 o'clock to get open, and I had at least 2 people walk past me and give me the fangs up. And so people are around. They know what's going on.
Absolutely. Baseball game, same thing. All I heard was, man, y'all rattlers everywhere. Y'all over the place. I'm like, well, we coming. I mean, we rattlers. It's football season. This is what we do.
Let's kind of, just in case those of you who may have missed Wednesday's show, and if you're not familiar, the ONG Strike Zone comes on every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the Black College Sports Network. We went through a great breakdown of the FAMU side of things, obviously going through the depth chart, some analysis of this game. Had a chance to talk to Mike Ely, Spartan Head, as he is Mike, through the MEAC fan days. And I saw some shout outs from some different people on Twitter, HBCU Bison, and some other old MEAC fans heads that were watching. And so it was, anybody who missed, you can go back and watch that show if you want to get a full breakdown of our analysis. So as we look at this game today, maybe kind of rehash let's talk about just the excitement level for this season. I mean, there's always the unknown, but kind of let's talk about the excitement level and sort of the analysis or thoughts about what you hope this season will look like. And oh, okay, my man's got okay. So he's got food. Wait. All right, I'm gonna let Kelvin go first because he's got a plate waiting. Something other than this. So go ahead.
Well, I think the theme of this season is the unknown, frankly, and it's not just with FAMU. It's with HBCU football. There's no clear cut favorite. There's no team returning, a surplus of all Americans. So, and then there's a lot of coaching changes that happen at every school, whether it be head coaches, whether it be these defensive offensive coordinators, a lot of transition. So for the first couple of weeks, there's a bunch of unknowns. But with that being said, I think the one thing you can always count on is pedigree and talent. And FAMU is returning with a championship pedigree. And we have around 59 players or so, 60 players returning who were a part of last year's program in some form or fashion that know what we went through and a part of those 9-10 win seasons. You got to remember, we've only lost one game in the last 3 years in the SWAC to HBCU, period. So we have a program at this point, and the pedigree and the expectations. We also have talent. I want to really speak on this real quick because people make references about Alabama State and the other schools that brought in a lot of transfers, and JSU had a lot of transfers. And what I was so with FAMU, they're not sure about how that gonna work out, and there is some uncertainty there. But I'll say this: they're not like us. When I talk about that pedigree and that program, and then the type of transfers we bring in, we're not just bringing in kids who FBS, and so we're bringing in kids who fit our profile, right? Who are replacing players that fit our culture. So I think that matters, and that makes a difference. Our starting quarterback for this game, Daniel Richardson. I mean, he was a starter last year, threw over 2,000 yards at the FBS level at Florida Atlantic. And one of his statements was when he watched the Celebration Bowl, and one of the reasons he said he wanted to come here because we had a winning tradition. And for his last year of competition, why not come and be a part of it? So those are kind of the athletes that we're bringing in. We're not just bringing in numbers. We're bringing in kids who want to be here and who want to win. And so I fully expect for the team to look similar to last year. Everybody talk about the loss of Willie and Musa and those offensive guys. But if you really look at last year, we were the number one defense in HBCU, top 5 in the nation at the FCS level. We build our hat and our foundation on the defense side of the ball. And by all accounts, spring and the fall, we've been just that, dominant on the defensive side of the ball. And I expect no difference tomorrow. I just don't see Norfolk State bringing in a new quarterback, even though they got 19 returning. They got a lot of players returning. So I do expect them to be competitive and to get off probably to a really good start, to be honest. But at the end of the day, they were 3-8. Do they know how to win? Do and those losses weren't against a team of FAMU's caliber either. So I think eventually, as the game wears on, that the Rattler pedigree will show, their talent and depth will show, and we'll pull away. And I see that being the kind of the blueprint, frankly, throughout our season, particularly once we get into conference play. I think that teams going to have to be able to play 4 competitive quarters, and they're going to have to create turnovers because they're not going to be, consistently be able to move the ball on our defense. They're not going to score 3 touchdowns on this defense. So that's kind of the formula. We have to help teams along, but if we play good Rattler football, then hey, the theme of the season is running back cozy, and that's what Rattler Nation is expecting. That's what the team is expecting.
Man, while they switch out, I just had to say pew pew, pow pow pow, shots fired. And I mean, Kelvin just ain't holding nothing back. Kelvin, y'all go ahead. Come on out, get to your plate. So we gonna jump in. I'm gonna jump in
what he is.
I'm gonna break up the orange. So let him get over there. But yeah, man, I'm like, goodness gracious. He was just like, look, I don't care what none of y'all say. All that talk about that these people are new, the coach gone, and
yeah.
Good God. Hey, just like Kelvin's like, no. Don't even think about it. It ain't happening. Hey, look, want to give a shout out to Steve and Sadiq who are in the building here. Rattlers from Duval getting it in. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and let Marcus answer your question now. If there's any meat left on that bone after Calvin got finished. So
that's why originally I was gonna let Marcus go first. But that's yeah.
That's like giving AD the mic. Yes,
yeah.
I said it, dude.
Yeah.
Well, as far as this game, well, I guess first and foremost, John Grant might need to slip fam a little extra this year because we can go back and check the record, but this might be the first time a returning national champ is coming back for the MEAC SWAC challenge. And it happens to be FAMU, and we know we travel. So just having that, the kind of audience and the kind of following that we have, we might expect a little something extra under the Christmas tree. For this particular game, I guess Norfolk, they're bringing back, like Kelvin said, almost 20 returning starters from last year. And as we spoke about with Mike Ely on the other night, they had 5 of their 8 losses were within the last minute. So they're bringing some talent. Now, historically, we've known since Norfolk's been in the MEAC, going back almost 25, 30 years, that there's been some good seasons, but mostly kind of seasons that left a wanting a little bit. And so in terms of comparing the pedigree of winning, the expectation every year, there's more hope, I would say, on the Norfolk State side, where at the FAMU side, it's almost like it is an expectation. There's a difference in terms of how we expect things to turn out. And coming into this game, I would say it's the same. We're coming off national championship in Black college football. We have lost a lot of talent to either graduation and a few to the portal. But Coach Colsey, having come in after the coaching search, brought in talent that he thought would fit. He didn't just pick names. He didn't just go and grab a 4 or 5 star who happened to be in the portal because he was a disgruntled player or there were some team issues. He brought in someone that would fit the culture. And the expectation is that those players would come in and adhere to the culture and understand what they're here to do in terms of the academics and the athletics. Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was going to ask a question now because I want to get you two guys. Listen, if you watch the ONG Strike Zone, these cats dive deep into it every week. So we've got all the FAMU stuff. But what I want to do is I want to talk to you guys to look at it from the other side. Dawson Odoms is in year 4 at Norfolk State. Let's talk about that expectation that you just mentioned, Marcus, because at this point they brought Dawson Odoms in to build a program. So now you're at the state. You mentioned it, 20 starters returning, players coming in. Listen, we know that Odoms can coach. It's not like he forgot how to coach. It's just that people don't understand what building a program means. We're going to start with Brian this time. But Brian, what do you think is the biggest thing that we at FAMU, the Rattlers, have to look out for in facing this Norfolk State team with Dawson Odoms at the head?
Well, in listening, I listened to a little bit of the MEAC coaches press conference as I was driving up, and even the history of knowing Dawson Odoms, their desire to run the ball that's what I think he wants to do. And I think they do have a pair of good running backs returning. What this quarterback can do is the unknown. We don't know. Is he, see, the advantage that Norfolk State has is you kind of can catch a glimpse of what Daniel Richardson can do if you go back and watch 3 years of football. He's given you that, right? You don't know how we're going to play call and things of that nature. But so for us, I heard Coach Colsey say we have to take care of us. But for Norfolk State, I expect them to run the ball, want to run the ball, and then the mix of what little tweaks can this quarterback bring in, and that'll be interesting to see. I'm gonna tell you, I think Dawson Odom's, I hate to say hot seat situation, because like you said, building a program is hard and it takes a few years. And so, yes, he came in 6-5 his first season, but the last 2 seasons you've had 2 wins and 3 wins. So the expectation is here you're on the last year of a contract. The insecurity of that has to be weighing on Coach Odoms. He won't tell you that. He's a proud man. He's going to do his job and do it to the best of his ability. But like we talked to Mike on Wednesday's show, you've got FAMU this week, East Carolina the following week. And those really for Spartan Nation are the 2 warm-up games. So media, honestly, I say that the media don't overreact. There'll be media out there that will, but after that, those will be the 2 games where Dawson Odoms will be judged, because they have Virginia State. That's a rival. That's a deep rival. Hampton, Battle of the Bay afterwards. Those are the 2 games that, so it's like everything they do now in this week and East Carolina is really a build-up to Virginia State and Hampton. And look, if they win both of those games, you would like to think that the rest of their season will go well and that Dawson Odoms and the future there will look good and fans will be happy. But if it goes south, if it goes the other way, I can't imagine what kind of heat and pressure, because you would have lost to 2 rivals, one of them being a Division II school, and the other one, Hampton. I don't even want to get into the water. I'm not even going to say it, but what that's going to look like. So that's we whatever the outcome of this game is, it really for Norfolk State is a buildup. It's step 1 of a buildup towards the September 7th game against Virginia State and the following week against Hampton.
Your assessment is these first 2 games really don't count for Dawson Odoms in the grand scheme of it, what they do in the MEAC.
Do they matter as much? No. They want to win, sure, but they also want to look good. Now, if you come out and look bad like South Carolina State did last year in the opening game, people are going to be like, oh, man, what the heck? But let's just say, even in a, what I predicted 28-10. What did you predict in the score? 24-10 with 28. You said 28-10? So 27-10. Say, if you hold FAMU to less than 30 points, I think you're like, okay, hey, that's good. We held FAMU under 30. Maybe we only scored 10, but that's a top level defense. We may not face another good defense like that, at least until maybe we play Morgan State in conference. So you're going to come out of the game feeling good. But if FAMU puts up, I don't know, I'm going to just go off put up 40, oh, man. I mean, not only are we going to be like, whoa, and you won't be able to deal with us next week. I'm telling y'all that now. The rest of y'all out there are going to have to deal with FAMU on a whole nother level if we put up 40-something points. And for Norfolk State, folks are going to be like ready to jump off. I mean, they're standing on the ledge of the bridge like, yo, what is going on? And so that's just how I see, Montre saying 45-7. Look, I don't know.
Wow. Okay,
I'm not that bold, but I'm not gonna say I would love it, but I'm not that bold.
So you guys are vehemently saying that the only dark clouds are going to be the dark cloud defense over Center Park Stadium this weekend.
Well, for me, I guess my perspective is, Norfolk State, when we played either in the MEAC, they were always hungry. And the last couple of games before we exited the MEAC was really competitive. The last one we played was, I think, 2019, and that was Terrell Jennings' freshman year. And I think we won like 30, 31, 28, 30, 28. As it relates to Dawson Odoms, we know he can coach because what he did at Southern. And then they had expectations of him bringing that to Norfolk State. And he's in year 4 of the program. So I'm kind of along with Brian, where I think that his competitive level in the MEAC is what's going to be the sink or swim moment for him in terms of his stature getting a renewal. The first 2 games, they want to win, especially since this one is going to be on prime time, a national exposure. And I saw an article this morning, the last time they played on ABC was like in 1979.
Oh, wow.
So Norfolk doesn't have that national exposure. And this is a hallmark for them where they can have a good showing either with an upset win, which we hope doesn't happen, or a good showing against a team coming off a national championship that may allow him, or him being Dawson Odoms, to be able to capitalize on that. Now, in terms of the two teams we spoke about a little bit earlier, where we believe that FAMU just has too much momentum as a returning national champion and bringing the talent in to be able to overwhelm a Norfolk State eventually, whether it's from the outset or near the end of the game.
Brian, was there something else you wanted to say?
I just wanted to clarify because I saw Edwin bring it up. And so the contract with Odoms, it's a 5-year deal that he signed back in 2021. So this is year 4 of it, which is, hey, that's great for him because that's the kind of longevity any coach needs. Hint.
Board of Trustees at Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University. Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, I was just saying him, but there you go. Exactly. That's who I was hinting at. But anyway, yes. So he has a 5-year deal. So, but you want to see improvement. So going from 2 to 3, and now this is the year. It takes 3 to 4 years, right? It takes 3 to 4 years. So this is the year that all the expectations are like 12 game schedule. I think a 500 season, 6 wins would be a great stepping stone going into his last year because it would have shown the 2 to 3 to 6. But also, I think however they do it, the biggest talking point I keep hearing is those 8 games. And we talked about that. Mike talked about that on Wednesday. The 8 games that they were in and kind of lost by a touchdown, was it?
5 out of the 8 losses last year were within the last 2 minutes or so, either where they could have taken the lead or they gave up the lead. And all of those were against HBCUs too.
Right.
So the other thing is the competitive nature against your peers.
Yes.
So not only within the conference, but the outer conference games within your peers or your rivals like Virginia State, I think will tell the tale for the season for the Spartans.
Right. So hopefully for Norfolk State side, can they actually close the deal in close games, which is, it's one of those things usually when teams win close games, people like to say, well, that kind of thing won't repeat itself the following year. Well, let's see what happens this year. Will the close losses flip and will they find a way to win those close games? Because if they win those close games this year, I mean, they're talking a 7-win, they may even flirt with an 8-win season and everybody's feeling good about, maybe possibly offer an extension to Dawson because you're like, okay, coach figured it out. But right now they're on the ledge. They're on the ledge, and these first 4 games are going to be tough for them.
And see, this is the problem working with someone for 25 years. Because he just took my entire segment that I was going to close that out with.
Sorry about that.
And talking about that. But hey, Spartans, don't sweat these first 2 games. As long as you are competitive, that's what you need. I think that one of the things that I want people to realize is that FAMU has a chip on their shoulder. And we all have heard the analogies. There's nothing worse than a cornered rattler. And they are going to come in because they have something to prove. So this is going to be one of those, one of the terms that I've been using for years. You're going to see that dark cloud defense playing with aggressive intent. They're going to be trying to kill a mosquito with an axe. They are not going to be taking anybody lightly. So those are the types of things. What you all do in the MEAC, the Virginia State game is a must win.
Yes.
That is a must win. That is a must win, whether it's by 2 points or whether they blow them out. That is the first game of the first 3 that they have to win when they get that one going. But like Brian says, Dawson Odom comes in, has anywhere from a 5 to a 7-win series or season. You guys have to give him an extension. Keep him around because he's doing exactly what we talked about, and that's building a program. 20 returning starters. The portal doesn't seem like it's having that much of effect on you as a school. You don't know how big that is in today's college landscape.
Don't make the same mistake Southern made. Don't make the same mistake Southern. Yes. I said it, Edwin. That's right. I said it.
What a shout out to got a Prairie View A&M Panther that done stepped in the building. Are you with the
PV in the house?
This is not Joe Claire, is it? No. Okay, you kind of look like Joe. That's why I wanted to make sure. And he like, oh damn, really? You said that to me? I'm like, I'm sorry. But speaking of recruits, transfer portals, I'm gonna go to my next question really quick. Unless Brian's ready to take a break or something.
No.
I'm not. But he won't take a taste. But Marcus is our resident recruiting expert. He's the guy that talks about it and does a lot more of that stuff. And you mentioned during the first question we talked about the pieces that FAMU has brought in. in what they're doing. How do you think that compares with what we're doing in the transfer portal, being able to be very specific with the people that we bring in and what Dawson Odoms is doing? Because it looks like he's not, I mean, like I said, we haven't heard about a lot of recruits or people through the transfer portal coming in. He's doing this through recruits, which again, folks, in itself makes it take time. One more thing I want to say before I forget it. I heard that there are a few Spartans on there. We are looking for some folks looking to do a show for your school. Get at us, info@myjbn.com. If you're interested in doing a show similar to the ONG Strike Zone for your school, doesn't matter if it's Norfolk State or not. I'm just mentioning them because you guys are here to come get this up. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say it. But I'm going to let Marcus answer the question. But we definitely want you guys on the network.
As it relates to Dawson Odoms, looks like he's doing it the old school way. He's building up recruits, and that's what you have to do, especially as a new coach coming in and you're looking to turn around the program. You need to have players that are invested. You can't really depend too heavily on bringing in, dare I say, mercenaries or people who are looking to just play, because you need to establish a culture. You need to establish the aura of what you want your program to be. And you only do that through people who grow up through the program, similar to what FAMU did a little bit when Coach Simmons came in that we had a lot of 4th and 5th year players last year who went through the mud in 2018 when he first came in, 19, 20, the COVID year, 21, 22, and it resulted in a championship. And Coach Odoms is looking to build something similar where he's looking strategically for specific positions to upgrade talent, but he's not doing wholesale transfers coming in. And from that standpoint, he's building around, and as Mike Ely alluded to, having that Tidewater area region for recruiting. There's been a hotbed ever since, well, even before, but notably with Ron Curry, Michael Vick, and Allen Iverson going back 20, 25 years as football recruits, and just continuing in that and making sure you're keeping people in the area. You can only do that by having a winning program with local talent. And that looks like what he's doing, and also bringing in strategic transfers at key positions where he needs to build depth or upgrade the talent.
Well, before we get ready to go on, take a break, go to the next segment, I'm going to do something that Brian likes to do because I don't do it. We're starting the MEAC SWAC Challenge this year with FAMU Norfolk State. Now, North Carolina Central people, don't get mad at me when I ask this question. I'm not here for that. What's the over-under that this game that starts the season finishes the season in the Celebration Bowl?
Are you talking about total wins?
No, these same two teams.
You mean the probability?
Yeah, what's the over-under? Did we get it in there? 50% or higher?
Oh, lower. More like lower.
Really?
Well,
so y'all aren't giving Norfolk State any chance in the MEAC is what it sounds like.
5th, 6th? Which one? I mean, there's only 16, so they're predicted.
Oh, really?
Well, they're predicted to finish 5th in the MEAC. So
Norfolk State, y'all hear that? Spartan.
No, I didn't.
Shock the world.
We
That's what I'm telling you.
We didn't have nothing to do. We didn't have nothing to do with the voting on that. So I mean, look, they're predicted to finish 5th in the MEAC. We're predicted 2nd, 1st. Depends on who's ranking.
Right, who you ask.
So I mean,
he over here pointing that the TV's gonna be here. So.
Y'all might make Prairie View might make the SWAC championship game again.
In Tallahassee.
But I mean, look, come on back. And hopefully the weather will be much nicer this year around.
And listen, there won't be a coach there who has some love for y'all. So look for a beatdown. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud again?
So I would say there's always a probability, but if you ask me a probability, I'd say it's in the ballpark about 5%. 5% likelihood that these two teams will be back in the Celebration Bowl. I wouldn't bet it. But if I just had $5 laying around, sure, because it'd pay off long odds. I know it would, but I'm not spending money. I'm not going out to the ATM to take any money out to bet on.
The same two teams. I'm with Brian. A very low probability of one way or the other. For Norfolk State, like we mentioned before in the preview for them, these first couple games, us and then some rivalry games, but then they only have a 5-game conference schedule. Mm-hmm. So in terms of if they can gel or whatever happens tomorrow and going forward, and then in the 5-game conference slate, if they happen to catch some of the teams like Kelvin mentioned earlier, there's no juggernaut. I mean, we're returning champion, but we have a lot of those key pieces of key positions that are gone. So there's no one team that's just being held up as the prohibitive favorite. So Norfolk could surprise some folks. They can catch, Howard, starting a new quarterback. North Carolina Central, they have a new quarterback, even though he came in one game when Darius Richard was hurt. So there's a lot of question marks even on the MEAC side as well. And Morgan State, they had a tight defense and a poor offense, and have they turned it around? So you have three of the top contenders there that have some degree of question marks, and depending when Norfolk State catches them, and also if they can turn around those last second losses, even though the loss to South Carolina State and to NC Central last year were really blowouts. But if it can turn it around, especially with a lot of returning sophomores and juniors who grew up last year and experienced those last second losses, then they could be a surprise in the MEAC.
So we're going to get ready to take a break. I'm going to let you know, Spartans, I believe in y'all. I'm going to tell you, I honestly, knowing that they were picked 5th or 6th in the conference, I believe in what Dawson Motives is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like we talk about, he is one of the few coaches that is building a program. You know, he's doing the same exact thing. You mentioned it, that Willie Simmons did when he came into FAMU. And he has these kids in there. The biggest hurdle for them is going to be that new guy down in South Carolina, in Orangeburg, South Carolina State. Shennis Berry is a throwback, old school coach. These kids will run through a wall for him. And he comes in and changes. So I believe that Norfolk can get everybody else. If South Carolina State slips up a couple of times, I think you're going to see Norfolk State back here for the championship game for the MEAC. I really do. I think that, like I said, I think he's building that program and they're going to be ready to go and they're going to play very differently. We're going to see that difference tomorrow. I really believe we will. They still going to lose because the Dark Cloud defense is just that, like I said, they both have something to prove, but what FAMU has to prove is more. Kelvin mentioned it. We've lost 2 games in the SWAC since we've been there the last 3 years. You know, so I mean, we're not concerned with that side of it. The people in Tallahassee believe that there's going to be a reload and not a rebuild. You're changing the clip out. You're not going in and getting a new gun. So do that. But MEAC, y'all better watch out for Dawson Odoms this year. Brian got something he want to say.
That's called selling the other side. That's what Roy Evans does as the CEO. We got to bring in everybody. So we got to be Lennon Blow. That's all that's happening right here. So don't get your hopes up too high. I will be looking for you to cash in on that bet after y'all lose. I expect the call. I don't even remember what the bet was, but Lennon, I know you're in the room. You're watching us. There's no disrespect. I love Norfolk State. Remember, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Norfolk State. So, but let me just say, you've already heard, but yes, that's Roy's selling tickets. All right, but it's all good though. Doing what he does, CEO style. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. See, I'm almost send this to a break here after that segment. You're watching the BCSN Game Time show right here from Bullpen Ribs and Barbecue right here in Atlanta, across the street from Center Park Stadium.
How was the stuff, Calvin?
All right. I might have to get me a nibble on here or something. All right, let's go to a break here. Let me find a break here, a long one here. No, I just kidding.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Oh, excuse me.
Roll it back, everybody. Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go, why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the BCSN Game Time's pre-Game Time show for the MEAC SWAC Challenge here. Right now, I got a Prairie View alum, Mr. Jeff Armstrong. Here's here. You know Dr. Cavill?
Dr. Camille?
Dr. Cavill. Dr.
Oh, no.
No, you don't know? Oh, man, we got to get you introduced to Dr. Cavill.
Okay.
They were talking to us about bringing the Game Time show to y'all homecoming. They said y'all homecoming at Prairie View is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was when I was a student. I'm sure it hasn't changed. I'm sure it hasn't changed.
Right.
I haven't been back in a while. I've been down here a long time. So.
Okay.
But yeah, I plan to go. If not this homecoming, it'll be next one for sure. That's the plan.
That's one of the things you guys can look forward to next week. Just to kind of give a little tease is what we do in the industry. We call this a tease. We're going to release our BCSN Game Time travel schedule next week. We had you guys being able to vote on it. We had some games that were already locked in. Of course, one of those being the Orange Blossom Classic down in Miami Gardens, Florida. This year is going to be featuring Alabama State versus North Carolina Central that we talked about. But we will be announcing our schedule for the rest of the season next week, where we're going to go to, whose homecomings we're going to show up at, because y'all claim y'all have the best homecomings ever. We going to vote. We going to have some criteria, and we're going to see exactly how much it is. But we're going to have a lot of fun this season, man. We're going to be out going all across the country, getting things ready for the season and just really getting out there and doing some stuff. Now, we know that it's the MEAC SWAC Challenge. It's here. This is one of the big, that's part of the main reason that we're here. But Jeff is always actually here for another organization that we're working with. If you saw our flyer, you saw that we are a part of the Sports Philanthropy Network. I am actually the Atlanta chapter director, and the Sports Philanthropy Network started by Caleb Bradham and Roy Kessel. And they're doing a lot of good work in the community, helping to support community-based athletic programs, and we're getting things going here in Atlanta. And so we are actually accepting donations and things. If you go to sportsphilantropynetwork.com, I'll make sure I get the website up here and run the graphic, because I thought it would be in this one because I had it up for everybody else. And I guess I didn't put it in. Oh, yes, I did. I did put it in here for us. So as we see, there it is there. And that's it. But Sports Philanthropy Network is a great group. We're doing some things and love to get you guys engaged in it. So send us your email if you're interested, if you want to work in your community. There are chapters actually all over the country so that you can get engaged and be involved in different places and do different things. Jeff, so you said you've been here in the area for a long time, right? You've been in Atlanta?
Yes, I've been in Atlanta since 1998.
Okay. Before Atlanta really well, 96. Most people say 96 with the Olympics.
Right.
Was the transition.
And
when it became the international city that it is now.
Right.
And doing some things. So let's talk about that. Since you've been here that long, talk about some of the changes that you've seen, especially as it relates to HBCU athletics.
HBCU athletics. There is a lot more focus on HBCU athletics. I know when I first got here, this was before, Twitter and all that kind of thing. When Facebook came about and all that, then they started having programs dedicated to covering HBCUs a lot more. And just from being here then and seeing how it is now, seeing how it's blossomed. I mean, we're on TV a whole lot more now than we used to be. I mean, now I've actually seen Prairie View basketball games on TV, Prairie View football games. We've upgraded our stadium on campus now. It's really nice. Things like that. There's a lot of changes that have happened. A lot more coverage of the SWAC, the MEAC, and even Morehouse and I guess they're the SEAC. They've done a lot too. So there's been a lot more coverage. I can say that for sure. When I first moved down here, wasn't much coverage of HBCUs, and now we've hit the mainstream up. We've gotten a lot more prestige and a lot more coverage than we used to.
Well, listen, we know for a fact we spend a lot of time on here on the network working with Tall Man Productions and Mr. Charles Edmond, who's over there at Alcorn doing. No, wait. Listen to me. Oops. I'm sorry, y'all. My mistake. The Braves. Y'all had the same colors, don't you?
Yes.
That's what threw me off, because yes, he's at Alcorn. He's not at Prairie View. My bad, y'all. What's the name of the show that the guys do? The Joe Claire's on. That's a Prairie View show. I know that. Is it 1887? Yeah, it's the Prairie View.
1878, 1876, really.
1876. That's the name.
1876.
Yes. That's the name of the show. Yeah, 1876.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get some stuff in here. We actually are gonna get an Alcorn night in here too at some point. He outside running around like he don't want to get in here. Yeah, we do. He's gonna get in here and do some things. But now again, so we're the MEAC SWAC challenge. You're a Prairie View guy. Why are you? What causes you to get engaged in this weekend?
Well, I mean, like I said, MEAC SWAC, and I'm a proud SWAC member, proud SWAC graduate. I've got my SWAC hours, as we say at Prairie View. Yeah, I've got my SWAC hours, got plenty of those. So I'm always interested in the games and all that. Basically, I guess we'll try to see when the next time we were here. Last time I went to the game last time we were here. We played Central. That was 2018, I believe.
Okay.
2018, 2019, we beat North Carolina Central. So that's the last one I went to. And that's when they were playing in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I took my lady with me. She was hot. It was a hot night. It was a hot day. It was really hot. Yeah, it was hot. So I'm glad now that they're playing in the evening. 7:30 now on Saturday. I wish they had done that when I went back, 6 years ago, I think it was now. So
lessons learned. Lessons learned.
Right.
Say that. Listen, we got parties to go to in the evening. We can't have your hair can't be done sweated out by the time you went through the game.
Right.
So hey, we are dealing with HBCU alums. So let's make sure we get that going. Well, you heard our conversations with the guys talking about it. Do you follow HBCU sports enough to give us an opinion on what you think is going to happen?
I don't follow it as much as I'd like to. I try to. I work at the College Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
It's my full-time job. So I'm try to follow as much sports as I can. Just college football is just inundated. I went to grad school at Ohio State, so I focus a lot on. We have an HBCU section at the hall, but it's not really huge. It's bigger than it used to be. When I first started at the hall, we had a corner. Not a corner.
I was about to say
not a corner.
I was about to say he did not say a corner. He said a corner.
A corner. Yeah, we had a corner. Yeah, corner. Little small spot. Now we have a bigger section at the hall, which is good. But it could be bigger, but I'll take what we got. When I first started in 2018, it was a corner. Now it's a space.
Okay.
It's a bigger space now.
Well, we need to work on that.
Yeah, it's some good stuff there. We got some fam stuff in there. We've got a lot of Walter Payton. Yeah. Well, we got Walter Payton, Jerry Rice, other historic greats. Nobody from fam, but it's Steve McNair's jersey.
They don't have no Bob Hayes stuff in there.
No,
they don't have no
well,
Bob Hayes
actually,
stuff?
we do have a little photo of Pam Oliver. I didn't know
Well,
Pam
boom,
Oliver.
there you go. The Rattlers are everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't know Pam Oliver went to fam.
Yes, she did.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we have
ran track at FAMU.
Yes, she did.
That's right.
She did. And I met her. I wish I had known that she went to fam. We could have swapped A&M stories, that kind of thing. But it's a pretty good space now. It's a pretty good section. I would put it that way. It's a pretty good section now. So I try to follow as much as I can and just try to keep up with Prairie View and try to keep up with the SWAC and other other HBCU conferences. I really try, but I mean, I'm so busy at work and just trying to keep up with everything else because I don't meet too many. There's a decent amount of HBCU grads that come into the hall, but it's not as much as Big Ten or ACC or SEC for sure. You know, this is SEC and ACC countries.
Yeah,
so
it is. It is.
It's hard. I do my best to try to keep up with it. I know we made it to the SWAC final last year. Fam had just an outstanding year. When I go to the hall, I meet fam grads. I try to tell them that we're the better A&M. As far as A&Ms go, we're like the CEO of A&M.
Y'all did hear him say he tried to tell us that. So
I say that because somebody's got to be the CEO, and then somebody else is the financial officer. So y'all are close to us, but I mean it's the way it is. Somebody's got to be on top. So I just say that, but I can't really talk too much because y'all smacked us down last year. I can't deny it. That was a beat down. We did score a touchdown on y'all in the SWAC championship. So I'm happy with that. That's a moral victory right there. I'm claiming all moral victories, man.
So listen, I wasn't gonna be petty and ask random questions. Don't they call y'all school the Hill or somewhere?
They do. The Hill.
And being Prairie View, isn't it like mostly flat where y'all are?
No, it's not mostly flat. I mean, it's not hilly. It's not the capital.
See, right? It's not hilly, so it's more like a little speed bump.
No, it's not a speed bump. No, we're not a speed bump. No, sir. No, sir. Not a speed bump.
I can imagine that Joe Claire and Doc are gonna have something to say to me. I'm just jokes. Listen, it's all jokes, man. Y'all know how we are. You know we love HBCUs. We are actually looking forward to being there for homecoming. So, slight tease, but we talked about it. We'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. So, the College Football Hall of Fame. I think that's a great thing when you talk about that and we look at that. I'm going to say something that Brian knows. I've literally been saying this for the past 15, 20 years. We need a building for the HBCU College Sports Hall of Fame.
Right.
We really do. And being in Atlanta, I still don't understand why that has yet to happen. But we've got to work on that, and we've got to get to the point where we've got our stuff and we have our own, and we're doing things to make it go.
Actually, there is a Black College Sports Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, next to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Right.
They do have that much, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
here
listen,
in Atlanta,
here in Atlanta, man, you've got to have something here. It's John Grant, the executive director of the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Atlanta is the HBCU football capital of the world, or sports capital of the world. I mean, listen, the SWAC doesn't have any schools here.
Right.
Baseball tournaments here, basketball tournaments coming here. The biggest games are here. So we've got to do more and get engaged. But you know what? We're going to be talking about some other things and some initiatives that we can do, excuse me, as fans to help you guys, to help our HBCUs get going. We've got several that will be kicking off and launching throughout the season. And we will be looking for you guys to support and do some different things. Here's what I want to do, man. We're going to get you guys. We got a lot of folks out there tuning in. And we want to engage the fan base, man. How about you guys put some questions and ask our team? We got, we've got the Alcornite, we got the Rattlers in the building, mostly Rattlers who are here, but talk to the sports guys. You've got the sports gurus here. And what I was going to tell you, a way for you to catch up with everything that you're missing about HBCU sports is on the BCSN Pod Zone. And you can go in and make sure that you tune it in. You can get all of the shows that are on the Black College Sports Network and listen to them at your leisure and do all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Listen, dude, really? You gonna say that to me? Like not listening? Yeah. But look, folks, we're gonna take a break. The BCS Pod's on all different platforms. It's out there everywhere, so you can go ahead and get in. You can do it. Go over to the YouTube channel. Subscribe, become a subscriber, become a member, I think is what it's called. Like, share, all that kind of stuff. Stay tuned, though. Like I said, next week we're going to be launching and telling you guys about a whole lot of new stuff that's going to be coming on. We want to thank you for coming in and sitting down with us, man.
No problem.
From the A&M to that other one, we want to appreciate your time and your space being over here with us. Folks, we'll be right back live right here from Bullpen Ribs and BBQ. Brian, how are the ribs? The See, there it is. The brisket was awesome. Mike Road Dog said he's on his way. Save him some whangs. We will do that. But put your questions in the oh, wait a minute before we go. What was the Alkernite? Hold on. What was the Alkernites? Oh, wait, Alkernites. We'll hold that one for the next one. I pray you. That's not y'all. Just same colors again. I did it again. That's twice, but they won't be back to Tallahassee this year. That's why, because I'm mentioning his name too much. They ain't gonna make it back to Tallahassee for the championship game. But we will see you guys back. We'll be back here in a few minutes, right here on the Black College Sports Network, the BCSN Game Time Show, live from Bullpen Barbecue and Ribs.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember. They can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody.
Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more. But it's so absorbent, you can use less. So it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop.
Atlanta, Georgia. The HBCU football capital hosts the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge on August 24th. Florida A&M Rattlers, Norfolk State Spartans. SWAC versus MEAC. The rivalry is real. Come out to Center Park Stadium to see the returning HBCU national champions and two of the best HBCU bands in the land, the Marching 100 and the Spartan Legion. The day starts with a kickoff fan experience tailgate and concludes with a primetime matchup on ABC. For more information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the pre-BCSN Game Time. We are doing it up, man, having fun down here at Bullpen Ribs and Barbecue. Great food. Come in and get your stuff. Hey, man, right now we're being joined by someone else. You guys have seen this joker on the network from time to time.
Joker.
The Alkernite getting his thing going, doing it. Now, look, we had told the fans to put questions in the chat. We want to interact with some of the folks. And the first question was for an Alkernite. I was like, oh, snap. I started doing it, but I'm like, oh, he's not there. But before we get going, again, thanks to the gentleman who was just here. Tomorrow, for those of you who are here in Atlanta, the College Football Hall of Fame is having their Fan Fest. So they open at 9 o'clock, and it's free to go in. So what y'all need to do is all of those of us who are here for the MEAC SWAC challenge, flood the place with your paraphernalia on. If you're just here, if you're in Atlanta and you're a local, you're HBCU, put on your paraphernalia and go down there. Let them know they need to give us a little bit more than a space. And we're going to do some things, but show them that we come out and we can get engaged in that. So tomorrow, 9 o'clock, College Football Hall of Fame, Fan Fest, free to enter. Go in and check it out. And then, yes, make sure if they have any surveys, fill out the surveys and talk about your HBCUs and you can do your thing. All right, there we go. Mr. Carter.
How you doing, Roy?
I'm good, bro. How you feeling?
Good. You know, I'm sitting here drinking something that's running over water, which is great from your fraternity brother.
Of course it is.
It's really good.
Yeah,
It's like better than those other brands that we were talking about earlier. You know?
It is. Y'all go check it out. Runneth Water.
Runneth Water.
Like I said, we asked before we went to break, told the fans to put the questions in and let's interact. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about some things. Talk to the sports gurus, the guys who are on the network to see what we can get going. And the first question, what was the Alker Knights feeling when the logo changed to the A?
Okay, so it has a lot of context behind it. The younger group didn't feel any adverse to it. My parents are 1973 graduates, and we really didn't have an allegiance to it in the sense of where people were felt like we were being disrespected. So one of the highlights of my Saturdays growing up was the Brave riding out on the horse, similar to at Florida State. We had the full nine. The fight song to open the game right after the national anthem was a song called Cherokee, and no one ever really questioned it because we were in the heart of that in Natchez, Mississippi, and we had Indian reservations around. So, and plus in the state of Mississippi, the only place that we have casinos are on the reservations. And of course, some of our people like to frequent those establishments. And, you know, we were very happy with our friends and they were happy with us because we're spending with them and giving them a highlight, but really loved the logo. And then they took it away, kept the name and shifted to the A. And I don't believe that if you ask, like I said, a group of younger people, we never got into a tussle about it because I think we chose to really get in front of it to where it didn't become something that was going to be widely talked about or discussed.
Okay, so for those of us who are not organized, is this the old logo?
Yes,
the Brave. So okay,
yeah, the Brave.
Well, there you go.
And we had our own Brave. He had everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to also say this, but you know, one of the things that I tell people, and I mention this a lot, you know, those Braves looked a whole lot like those of us who are here right now. Anyway, we were indigenous folks to this land as well as being brought over here. So, you know, listen, that's not something that we're co-oping. You know, it's interesting. I noticed you mentioned they have the same thing, like Chief, whatever his face is across the street in Tallahassee that used to come out and do his thing.
Right. It was almost the exact same thing, except for I don't believe it really, I think in 94, when we played 8 games on ESPN2, I think that's the first time anybody saw that out of a university that had like a Native American name outside of Florida State, because it was on full effect. The mascot, we had a Brave, we had the horse, everything, but we're on TV. Okay. We're on ESPN2.
Okay.
McNair. So we're there. Charlie Ward was at the game. Spike Lee's at the game to watch Steve play. And that's really, and no one ever said anything. Then fast forward, you get to the Florida State piece. And I don't know how it got to be a piece of disrespect because I've heard rumor that the Commanders are looking to shift their names back. You know,
wait, did you say shift their name back?
Yeah, the Washington Commanders, they're in talks of shifting their name back to the Redskins. Because that community has really said you weren't being disrespectful to us. It was cold.
Well, as bad as the team was, maybe they were a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My mom's a fan, and that's one of the jabs that we have. But yeah, okay.
You know, Doug Williams played for.
Yeah, right. So we'll
Hall of Fame.
You know what? Just because of Doug, that's the only reason y'all getting any love. We're just doing
just
that.
Because of Doug.
Just because
Doug
of Doug.
only, yeah.
So let's see.
So what we got going on with your Rattler quarterback?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, wait. That's going to be one of these other guys who's going to have to ask that question. But let's see. We got Edwin has another question. I grew up as an Alker Knight with Indian in my blood, and being the son of Braves, I had pride in the old logo. So it took a second for me to accept the A, though he went to Southern. So okay, there it is.
Yeah,
There it
that
is.
was a group. Like I said, being around, and that's the other part about, I guess, below the Mason-Dixon line, and you get into these cultures and subcultures, just like you guys have a culture in Florida around the Rattlers and around Rattler Nation. I think there are subcultures and things that go on in these communities where you have people co-opting to have an agenda around something with it. So that's how these conversations begin to start to take place.
Okay.
So we have to ask ourselves a question like, who's really offended or what has started? But, I'm so glad we're here at Bullpen Barbecue. We had the wings earlier.
Yeah, man. Them, those full wings. Y'all got to come. You get down here, you got to come and get you some of those wings. They're really good.
Yeah.
Is this, Brian, is this Larry Sargent? Did Larry Sargent from Larry Sargent, is that you asking the question? He says, hey, why is everyone down on FAMU? There are people actually picking NSU by 7 to 10 points. Well, they're all on crack, Larry. That would answer your question. I mean,
well, I would like to know before I put my parlay in today, what is the line on the game? 17 in favor of who?
Yeah, he didn't ask that question. He didn't ask that question.
No, I'm saying your guy asked. You said 50 and a half? Yeah, I would probably.
Oh, you did say 50 and a half? Is that total points?
Total points.
Oh,
okay. I would probably take Norfolk in the over.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, you know what, Brian? We keep talking about this.
No, so the spread. What I'm saying is, it's a reputable spread, but if they get out there and get to going, I know FAMU. I think FAMU's probably going to score 6 touchdowns.
Oh, well, there you go. So, hey, we're going to talk about something. So for all you bettors and gamblers and people who are into that, I keep telling Brian, like, we really need to put a betting show together just to get it in this time. Just, folks who indulge and do that stuff and do that. And he put this as an inside joke. He's like, yes, this is Senator Sargent. Oh, SGA at those times. Well, look at there.
Because you already know what's going to happen. You get it up, the score gets going, and then one of the teams is going to pull the guys because they've secured the victory. I believe we'll get over 50. And what's intriguing is they largely ignore HBCU gambling on all of the shows that they produce on the other networks, when the reality of it is there are some heavy hit home runs in the first 4 weeks of the season. Like, look at that UAPB Arkansas game. Is Arkansas really going to throttle their in-state rival? They're going to beat them bad, right? Yeah, there's a 53-point spread.
And we should let Brian sit in on this one because y'all know I'm sitting here like, okay.
No,
sure.
but
that's what you mean.
What I'm implying is the other networks ignore that conversation.
No,
so
I know what you're
right.
talking about. I know.
You got fertile ground to have a conversation at least for 4 weeks, Brian.
Yeah.
We could talk about, how, and this just got discussed the other day. The largest spread that was covered is when Howard, Cam Newton's brother, quarterback, went out and beat UNLV.
Yeah,
it was a heck of a game. A lot of money was won.
That was their coach, my frat brother. Yeah.
Hey man, the wonderful brothers of Phi Beta Sigma
doing this thing up there.
Like you guys.
That's right. We talked to him that year, didn't we, Brian?
On earth.
We talked to him out there about that when they went out there and won.
So just let me know whoever has the betting app, FanDuel, so we can get our bets in.
So Larry says his score is 42-7, FAMU over Norfolk State.
Ooh.
Edwin again, FAMU is saying they have 3 sets of starters, so pulling starters won't matter, like Jimmy Johnson's Hurricane. Okay.
This is interesting. So we were having this conversation earlier with FAMU alum, and we were talking about where the money is going to flow and like this restructure with the bigger groups or whatever.
We talking to Earl. Kitchens. Shout out Earl Kitchens was here. You missed him, Brian.
We were talking to Earl Kitchens about it. Yeah. And we were actually discussing the package around will we be able to collectively put SWAC MEAC together and do a top 25 or a small school, large school, and really package this product differently because the dollars are so strong going towards the other way now. And so what are we going to do to solidify our footprint and make sure that events like the MEAC SWAC Challenge continue to happen? Make sure that the Celebration Bowl, it just doesn't go to the wayside because of what they're doing with the college playoff. So this is something that I think intrinsically we really have to think about. How do we really promote events like this and keep getting that word out? Because if we don't recalibrate this, and I'll be interested, I think this was like a Powerball having FAMU and Norfolk State here in Atlanta, where the base is so strong. They put y'all on the hot side too for TV optics. So everything's going to work in their favor. This game will really optically show up.
Well, listen, one of the things that we've talked about for years, and I've told folks this, and being in this industry for close to 30 years, there is a reality as we look at college sports that most people don't know. And when I say most people, even most HBCU fans don't know. But once you go past the Power 5 schools, the HBCUs have the best revenue potential of all other FCS schools and conferences. One of the things that a lot of folks don't realize, many of these FCF programs have just started coming into their own in the past 30 years. Let me give you a perfect example. There's a school down in Orlando, Florida, University of Central Florida, that I believe it was 89. Kevin, you probably remember that was 1989. They came up to Tallahassee and got beat. That was my freshman year that they were doing their program. Now, listen, University of Central Florida is literally one of the largest schools in the country and has been for 50 years. So they had students, but they didn't have a football program. They didn't have didn't have a prominent football program. And the only thing that's come out of there in the last 30 years that anybody remembers is Dante Culpepper. And so you're talking about HBCUs at both, not even both, at all three levels, D1, D2, and NAIA, that have over 100 years of tradition of playing football. We have 5 to 7 generations of fans that we can track back. And that's one of the reasons that our game is on at 7:30 on a Saturday night on ABC. You will not, in no offense to UAB and University of Central Florida, that game ain't making the 7:30 network run. It's not. But what we have to do is our part in this. We have to start getting back to our universities. We have to start getting engaged. Our universities have to start doing a better job of utilizing sports as the window and the front door to them to help it grow in other ways as well. So we're going to do that. We're going to get this thing going and really, really have some fun. So Barry 305, are you waiting for FAMU to come to Miami? Listen, we going to talk about some of this stuff, man.
Well, to kind of piggyback on what you said about how we build this piece out, I do think someone, and I won't mention any names, somebody showed a footprint or a blueprint as to how you could monetize this and how you could put eyes on this. And even if you could get an 80% return on that type of exposure, we got a real good glimpse into what this could look like over about the last 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So now you can't go backwards because, you didn't like the messenger and go backwards to not communicating, not streaming your practices online, not doing things that fans obviously like. Now, of course, a celebrity does play a part in that, but now it's time to leverage those schools of communications at your schools. Prairie View has one of the most dynamic campuses in the country in terms of its look and its feel. Alabama A&M has spent tremendous amount of dollars in Huntsville, becoming a first-rate university. They just had their largest freshman class come in, and this is because of some of the successes of their athletic programs, but coupled with this is now marketing these things. And so we got people at these schools, and I think Brian and AD and I talked about this. We might need to start reevaluating how we choose our presidents. I've worked in education for almost 30 years. We put a lot of pressure or a lot of emphasis on a doctoral degree when really I should be looking at an MBA candidate. I should be looking at someone who understands business systems, how things work, how things flow. Because in education, that doctorate piece is just there for an accreditation on the other side. Prime example, Livingstone, their new president secured $17 million from one donor. And he also has a track record of managing almost in his career $40 to $50 million of philanthropic dollars. How'd he do it? He did something really unique. You complain about people coming to your games at FAMU, Alcorn, Jackson State, or wherever, not going in the game. So what he did was he just did an all-inclusive price to get on campus, charged $100. It's your game ticket, your parking spot, and it encouraged from a mental perspective of, I got a ticket, I'm just gonna go on in the game anyway.
Yep.
Their attendance tripled just off something simple like that. But he's an innovator, and he talked about not what your dollars can do for you, but what these dollars, how these dollars can impact these students' lives. So we have a lot to do in terms of getting ego out the way and maybe rethinking some of these things too.
See, this is why I like having conversations with Kelvin, because I can get into these types of things. Because again, these are things that we've been talking about for a while here. One of the big challenges that we've seen over the years is that in the HBCU culture, there is literally an adversarial relationship between academics and athletics. And I think it's because a lot of our academics are upset that athletics is getting so much attention. And I have literally had this conversation with presidents at HBCUs over the years. And one of the things that I always use to end my discussion, and it ends it very easily, I asked them, I said, do you really think the president at the University of Alabama cared how much money, or that Nick Saban made more money than him because of what it did for the school? One of the presidents that we talk about all the time, we call him a super fan. President Faison down there, Zachary Faison down at Edward Waters. We started streaming Edward Waters events the year after he took over. Brian, if I'm not mistaken, when we started doing it, they had between 400 and 600 students on campus, right? That were students at that university. He utilized their athletic programs to build that university. That makes 5-6 years later, they are now over 1,500 students. They had more applications than they've ever had at in being submitted to the school. And he's used that. We call him a super fan for a reason. We saw this brother almost get thrown out of a basketball game. And we were like, the rep is like, who is this man? And we were like, that's the president. They were doing some stuff. But the student athletes know that he's serious about them and doing that, because those students, whether people want to admit it or not, student athletes are ambassadors and employees of that university. They are the people that most folks will see. And so he's sold into them as students, and that grew what they were doing as a program. They now have when we first started working with them, they were bouncing around Jacksonville at different high schools. They now have an on-campus football stadium. They're doing their things. And they are, yes, it's nice. It's a nice stadium, and it really can do a lot of things. I really think that more people need to look at what he's doing and understand why that is. And yes, I am talking to that school down I-10 from Edward Waters to figure it out, because we've got to get that change. Stop having an adversarial relationship with your biggest marketing asset that you have at your university. This is something very simple that we can do.
Well, Roy, here's the thing, other piece too. Two things can be true. And if you look at, now this is a smaller scale, but if you look at this, look at something like Duke. One would have never really thought that Duke would be a superpower in basketball, all while only having an acceptance rate of around 11% of all applications submitted. So they hold to both things. They play solid football. They went and hired a great football coach. And I tell you another place that to look at too is not non-HBCU, but they do graduate the highest number of African American graduates year in, year out.
Georgia State.
We're right here, Georgia State.
Georgia State. Yep.
So there are models out there, and two things can be true. Alcorn State University can be a top-notch agricultural school, all while producing a great, product on field. It's been 20 years. 1994. We're on ESPN 8 times. ESPN 2. No streaming service at that time. So fast forward to 2024, it takes the collective to drag us in. We were just talking about this outside. It was 1984, and they're contemplating moving a ball game back to Jackson, Mississippi on a Sunday to commemorate a game that had 65 to 70,000 people on a Sunday at Jackson Memorial Stadium. But between Alcorn and Mississippi Valley,
right?
Type, Willie Tiden, Satellite, Jerry Rice, all because of a snafu on that Saturday with Mississippi State and Ole Miss. But if we're thinking about this realistically, I don't know. It's been all, like you said, it's adversarial because it's almost been at snail's pace. Yeah, it's like, okay, the more popular you get, I'm going to fight you. I hear about the Laura FAMU. They won the first championship.
The first 1AA, what was then 1AA, now which is the FCS. We won the first national championship.
The very first one.
The very first one.
Not black college.
No, the first
1AA.
NCAA.
So then you won the first one in what year?
79? 78.
78.
Yeah.
How is it in 2024 there isn't a team that can sniff competition when we're even extended the invitation? That tells you a lot. If you won it, then now there are a few factors still there. We were still getting probably a lot of prime athletes were still coming our way. But I'm just saying.
Come on over, man. Get on back in here if you want to. I know you got something you want to say, Kelvin.
It's 2024, and we get the brakes beat off us. When we had Steve McNair at Alcorn, we went up and played Jim Tressel in Youngstown State. He had a bad hammy. We played well. It was a good showing, but we did not win, and we had a guy that was about to go in the top 5 pick in the NFL draft.
Well, so let's talk about that a little bit, because although we didn't beat them in the championship game, that was the next year. I believe 79 was the year that we beat the University of Miami. And right after that, that's when they brought Jimmy Johnson in. And what happened to the University of Miami? It became a powerhouse. One of the things that happens, and see, this is when we get into some different things. And actually, let me read Edwin's quote. It says, "I think it's more about the demands academics have for funding and not wanting to lose those dollars to athletics, bands, etc." Edwin, I'm going to say this because I agree with you, and that's the problem. But again, like Kelvin said, two things can be true. Alabama is the standard for college football at this point.
The gold standard.
They are also a Research One university. They probably get, they're probably not 5 schools that get more research dollars than they do. So again, these things can be true. We have to embrace that, because what happened when we talk about this transition in the late 70s going into the 80s, we were still getting those top tier athletes at HBCUs. But what else happened around 78, 79, 80? A little 4-letter network started up called ESPN. And they realized that football was a religion in the South. So they hitched their wagon to the SEC.
As they should have.
And then being on television, all of these players that were still going to HBCUs started going to these major colleges because we couldn't afford the things that they can get. Listen, I mean, the reality is it is what it is. There's a difference when you taking somebody on a date to McDonald's, and I'm just using this as an example to be real. The HBCUs and McDonald's, and then you taking the next guy's taking you out to Ruth Chris.
Well,
y'all gonna look at them two guys whole differently.
Totally different. But on the flip side of that too is there's 2 letters at the end of Prairie View, Alcorn, and FAM that are the same. It's agriculture. So we have to then now really impress upon our ag departments to retap back into the USDA, because it's the largest spigot of federal funding that's out there. So if we're agricultural and mechanical, why aren't, my brother works for Homeland Security. My dad graduated from the School of Agriculture at Alcorn. You are guaranteed employment. You're going to have a great job. You're going to have a great career. One of the things that I like when you start talking about those research dollars, you have to be invested in that, because when you get the research dollars, you get more money for yourself, and then you're not worried about quote unquote athletics taken away. Because in my opinion, we looked at that North Carolina Central budget snafu, and you can see the shortfall and where was the money for the shortfall going to come from? Probably from the general operating budget.
Right.
So those are things that we have to continue to look at, especially if we want events like this to just keep going. Now, Big Brother is behind it, which is ESPN. So it's going to go.
Right.
And they have no problem putting you in 0 week because they're trying to expand this. But they say, okay,
well, they want the eyeballs. That's right. They want the eyeballs.
How much are they willing to eat? Can I serve this during 0 week? And all of a sudden they was like, they so thirsty. Our counterparts are watching.
Yeah, everybody's watching.
Yeah, everybody's
watching. And that's the thing.
I love to see the numbers on the other game that's going to be over
in Dublin. The Florida State, is it Florida State and Georgia Tech?
No, I'm talking about that one, but the game that you usually play. It's another game in 0 week that's on earlier in the day.
Oh yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
See, nobody knows.
No,
who it
what I'm saying is but that's the thirst factor. You can't say nobody's going to see it.
No, I know.
Thirsty football play.
No, I meant nobody knows who it is. But,
yeah, no,
but the people who play for those teams.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So listen, man, this is a good conversation. Kevin, we may have to do a show where we talk about the other stuff around sports. And
I mean,
it's
it's all sports. I wanted to get into your quarterback for tomorrow. I wanted to get into this big time guy that's going to come down here and light it up. You know, you don't have to bring him up. Oh,
well, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a break. Brian's going to come back, and I'm going to let you and Brian have that conversation.
No, I want to hear the expert. I want to hear them two guys talk about these guys that's on the front.
Well, they're going to get in and talk to you. So, folks, here's what I want you to do. Okay, and it's Hawaii. Edwin says it's Hawaii and Delaware at midnight. Yeah, I was about to say there's one that afternoon, isn't there?
Delaware's at midnight because they're in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, the late didn't change the game time, but if you kind of study football, here's a steady stream. Actually, anybody East Coast, Bo Nix, Oregon, there's a stream of games that are all they feed that beast all night long.
Oh, yeah.
You can start watching football at like 11 o'clock and catch an Oregon and Arizona State game or anything in the Pac-12.
Here it is. Lauren's got it for us. Lauren said it's the FCS Kickoff Classic, right? Southeastern, I guess that's Southeastern Missouri versus North Alabama.
SEMO.
Like I said.
Nobody.
Yeah.
So
okay.
You're gonna have some of this running water?
We're gonna listen. We're gonna take me a break. Yep. I'm gonna give me a swig of some of the run of the water.
Get us some of these bullpen wings. I see somebody over there got the cornbread. He's prepared. He's from Prairie.
He about to eat.
Yeah.
It's some good country eating down here at Bullpen, if you didn't know about it.
You didn't know.
So
won't run your pressure up either. He got everything perfect.
Right. All right, so we'll be back, guys. Just stay tuned. We'll be back with more. Get the guys back in here so Kelvin can talk to them about these quarterbacks and what we got going. Because I do have a theory about why this quarterback is starting. Because we don't want
because he better than another dude.
Because we don't want the rest of we don't want the SWAC to see what we're gonna be really throwing at him.
No, he's better than that.
We'll be back, folks, right here on the BCS, the pre-BCS in Game Time show, right here, live from Bullpen Ribs and Barbecue.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Hey, grab me one too.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft.
Holy Charmin.
Oh, excuse me.
Roll it back, everybody. Sorry. Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture this.
All right, Brian Fulford back on the mic here. BCSN Game Time Show live from Bullpen Ribs and BBQ. And I got a pair of Kelvins here that'll for this next segment. Kelvin Carter, Kelvin Rozier, Team Kelvin over here in the house. Good to be here with you. Good to see you. I appreciate that history lesson on Alcorn, man. That's some good stuff, man. That's some good stuff. Always love learning something new about an HBCU.
Absolutely, I have to echo that. That was awesome. That was great information.
Yeah. All right. So I heard you had some questions about this quarterback debate. I mean, go ahead. What do you got? What do you got?
Tell me something about it. I just want to know.
Yeah.
Where'd he come from?
Okay.
How did he emerge?
You want me to go? Or you want to go?
You talking about FAMU quarterback?
Daniel Richardson, QB1.
He came from the heavens.
Lord have mercy. Heaven sent to bring us a championship,
to rain
right?
Down angelic winds against SWAC opponents.
There you go. I love that.
No, seriously. The young man has been a winner all of his career. I'm going back to high school. He was at, I think, Carol City. He won 2 state championships, a 4-year starter there. And then he out of high school, he went to Central Michigan. He played some as a freshman. I think it was a redshirt freshman though, but he played some. And then he started the year after.
Next 2 seasons.
Yes, and then he's played and started 8 games, I believe it was last year for Florida Atlantic. He's thrown for over 7,000 yards at the FBS level. He's thrown for over 50 touchdowns at the FBS level. So he's played a lot. He's won a lot. He's won Sun Bowl against Washington State while he was at Central Michigan. So we feel really good. He's a Florida kid from the bottom. And his statement when he was announced as the starter was, hey, you know, I watched you all on the Celebration Bowl last year. FAMU has a winning culture. So I wanted to be a part of that. I mean, so he won Rattler Nation over just like that with that statement. So tomorrow, my expectation is a guy who's got 4 years of experience at the FBS level. This stage won't be too big for him, but the moment won't be too big for him. And he's got a great team around him. I mean, we have the best offensive line in Black college football. We've got 4 guys who've been classified as all conference or all Americans in their careers. Both tackles are 6'7", 300 pounds. Both. One with Jalen Ghost, who transferred 3 years ago from Florida State. And he got injured early last year, and so he missed last season. But he was a SWAC all conference, all FCS in 2022. We got TJ Lee, 6'3", 310, somewhere around 305, somewhere around there, who played center for us last year. He's moving over to guard. We got Ashton Grable, first team all SWAC last year. This year, I think second team. He's 6'5", transferred from Jacksonville State, 6'5", 310, somewhere around there. And then we have at center, Cesar Reyes, another transfer who got hurt in the North Carolina game 2 years ago, who was a starter. He's moved to center this year, 6'5", 310. So we're very long and we're very lean. We're not fat. Those guys are athletic. And when you get to the second level, second string, they pretty much got those same credentials, same. So we're going to be extremely long, and that's not even including our tight ends. We have a 6'8" tight end. We have the Pittsburgh tight end who's going to be starting at 6'3". We got 6'5" tight end. We got a 6'4" returning. So the quarterback ain't going to be asked to do a lot, but we think that Daniel Richardson is capable of doing a lot, but he doesn't have to for us to be effective. We got a defense. We got All-American kickers. So
reoccurring theme around you name 9 guys, you name 9 transfers. So it leads me into a question around, will we become the space if we can cultivate, where when you get outside of the power conference, which will expand about 20 or 25 with their playoff system, and we try to find our niche. If we're given the opportunity or create the opportunity to show the vitality of this, like with this game or with the celebration, maybe I don't want to play at whatever you just named, Florida Atlantic, because we never see them on TV until they got to the Sun Bowl. Well, we're on every rip every week. You have a winning culture. You have big history. Probably the best colors in the conference. Logo, branding, the whole 9.
We're talking about Florida A&M, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought for some reason I thought you might have been talking about your school, but okay, I got you.
No. We have to share colors with Prairie View, so I can't be talking about my school.
Okay, got you. I got you.
You know, anytime you got to share stuff, that means you really.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's a great point.
You guys bring.
I love the honesty.
And I will say this: with FAMU coming to the SWAC, it was probably the biggest upgrade, or even a bigger upgrade than with Coach Sanders coming. That kind of collided at about the right time.
It did, didn't it?
Because FAMU is name, brand, market across the country. I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I'll see many FAMU wraparound plates, alumni plates. So with that being said, do you think because you're in the great state of Florida that you got those transfers because one, it's warm, it's nice, you get a little snow, you had to get from Pittsburgh. Who wouldn't want to be in Florida? Pittsburgh, Florida. Take your pick. So what do you think about that, Brian?
Well, so we've got 32 transfers, 28 of them from the FBS level, 13 of the 28, and tell me if I'm off here, 13 of the 28 from Power 4 conferences a year ago.
Wow.
And so the biggest, Florida A&M sells itself. I mean, I've talked to so many people, and I know for me and for others, when you get on campus, it's just I'm not wearing this shirt lightly that says FAMU changed my life. I mean, it's different when and I didn't grow up, I grew up in the Midwest, but when you get to campus and you're not from there and you get a chance, this guy was born and bred a Rattler. And so he knows. But for someone like me who came from the outside, and when you get on campus, it sells itself. So, I mean, that we are in that space, and that's why we've been for the things that we do on our show. That's why we're glad to be working with NIL groups like our friends over at Fang Exchange and and just other entities, because we know now in this college marketplace that while the university sells itself, while the history, very important, the history sells itself, because we do have a deep history. The X factor is that NIL thing. But
so Alcorn State University Collective, and one of the first HBCUs to get on board, which you kind of really attribute the fact that the best school in the conference is late to the game on NIL, to your internal turmoil in terms of administration, in terms of things, because those things kind of go hand in hand. You have to be well organized inside of that.
We have overcome our administrative failures, our administrative lack of, shortcomings. There you go. That's a better word. Our administrative shortcomings with regard to making athletics as great as all of the other parts of the university. Right. That's one thing that I've said. It's like we have all these amazing programs, academic programs, and things at FAMU, and we just need athletics to be treated and taken care of with the same love that other programs get. And it's hard because of our state, the way laws are set up in our state. It is challenging, not impossible, challenging, and it does take dynamic leadership to recognize what the state allows you to do, what the state doesn't, and be able to work and move in a different way that, say, maybe outside of Mississippi or Alabama, they have certain advantages because their state laws allow for certain things. And so he can explain it better. I've learned what I've learned over the last 4 or 5 years from this guy right here.
What's intriguing is, so FAMU few places in the country that these candidates, these presidential candidates, when Kamala comes out, gets on the road, she's going to make a stop at FAMU. And that's going to be one of the spaces when there's or come after or in between, because it's the place where you come to because it drives thought. Now, with that being said, now the FAMU alumni base has to get into the ear of your state reps, of your state senators, because they're ultimately controlling. I'm from a state that's not very progressive, which is Mississippi. And, you know, we can do something. I just can't figure out how it, you know, yeah.
I'm gonna let Kelvin explain.
Well, to answer your question, succinctly is yes. There is a culture at FAMU. There's a bureaucracy that you have to get through in order for, you know, and athletics, because athletics has had consistent, at least in football specifically, but with track and baseball, some other sports, because we've been able to have success without making those institutionalized investments, then that became the solution, right? You know, there was no thought at some time of trying to monetize or make athletics a business entity. It was a cost center, like it is with everybody else, right? So we weren't in the business of trying to find revenue streams and dedicate full time, you know, resource invest in order to take it to a different level, right? We were among our peers, we were considered one of the, you know, the best. Like you say, you know, our brand, our success, our fan base. So you know,
colors.
So yeah, which is unique. Rattlers, unique. You don't have a whole bunch of mascots that are rattlers at any level, from Pee Wee all the way to pros, right? So you know, there's a lot there. And what I would tell you is this, and if it's one thing that I'm most proud of about being affiliated with this platform, is that we've been able to kind of help that process along, to first explain the need, kind of talk about what others are doing outside of the HBCU sphere, and then even within the HBCU spheres, hey, there's people doing things, some things better than we're doing. And so we got that dialogue going, and then there's a lot of rattlers in a lot of different professions that, you know, have this acumen and can help push this thing along. And so as we've educated our administration internally as well as our fan base, and we continue to still have that success, people want to maintain that success. So it's kind of, we're smarter than what we used to be.
Right.
And there's a will, to your point, there's a will there to kind of look at things. And so now, you know, there's a next level. What you get into is, how do we take what we're doing and go to that next level? Because there's a better tier.
Well, it also lends into something. Now, they're calling him crazy. And I talked with another one of the hosts, AD, about Howard's basketball coach and his approach. And he's going out to private equity, putting this out here as an investment. And to be honest with you, it's that type of thought, even if that's not the exact thing. Taking a brand, because you guys with LeBron James division of Nike, they're with Jordan brand. There's no way possible. We got Jordan brand and LeBron James brand. And it's not like, okay, somebody in private equity, because all private equity sees is profits, are going to study this thing and say, if we put X number of dollars into FAMU and get them where they need to be, and then LeBron James team is going to say, we're going to make more money too, everybody's going to be happy. Because I know the quarterback did not come down here for some Girl Scout cookies.
No.
Somebody gave him something. You know, somebody gave him something.
I don't know what you're alleging, but
I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying, you talked about a wonderful place, and you said it changed your life. What did your shirt say? Fam, you changed my life. These boys, you got 32 transfers. They came from Power Fours. That's a lot of Girl Scout cookies.
I mean,
no,
it's 30. Yes, 32 transfers this past season.
Interesting. Are you?
Yeah, 32 transfers this past. Well, we lost a lot of people. See, trust us. Yeah,
trust. Is this the strike zone, right?
Yes, yeah.
Can you trust the strike zone? Yeah. In the strike zone, we trust.
It's 32. It's in the media guide. We don't shy away from it. It is what it is. It just goes. It
Just in
goes.
case you haven't seen it, folks.
Yeah, it goes to speak to. It goes to speak to where we are in the success that and the culture that's been built. And I think when you have players who are looking for opportunities to play, and that's the big thing. And nowadays, all 12 games are going to be on national television or streaming platforms. So you're going to, and we have 2 FBS games. So obviously, the formula is at the scouting level, they got to see you, A. And then 2, they want to see you versus those FBS teams. And so we have 2 of them this year. And so those are 2 games, 2 opportunities for what was the phrase that Coach Simmons used to say? He said something about get your check games.
So I got a question about that. I was talking with the gentleman earlier. Who are you playing for your check game?
We've got the University of Miami. So we're going down to South Florida. And then 2 weeks later, we play Troy in obviously Troy, Alabama.
Okay, so this is just an opinion. If you're just swapping money with the University of Miami, I feel like you're going to compete at Troy.
Yeah.
And like Alcorn competed in North Alabama. We play South Alabama. We got UAB, Alabama, Birmingham next week on a Thursday night, ESPN. Wouldn't you feel better if you studied those numbers on the check games and stray away from somebody that has 32 more scholarships, and because they literally could ruin your season? Now, what I'm saying is, though, in the state, my buddies and I had this constant argument.
You want this one?
When UAPB is they went 1 and whatever last year. They're about to open up at Arkansas. And even if they only play 2 series, or 3, potentially they could make themselves go over and get the coach fired because they wanted to take a check from a state-ran institution when you could have just politicked the state and said, hey, why are we going over here to get beat up to swap money when you can just stroke the check to me and then I would go play, say, SEMO, or because Tennessee State competes in a conference that's similar, or go play SEMO or Troy or somebody and get a check.
If you've watched the O&G Strike Zone, then we've talked about this quite a bit. I am not a fan of beatdown games. That's what I call them, beatdown games. But check, there's a lot of ways to make money, and all money is not good money. To your point, I would like to see you have a balanced schedule. I don't mind a Troy, right? That's all well and good. But let's face it, when we send our guys to compete, and they're gonna compete now, they're gonna do the best they can. But to your point, when you go send our guys to, for instance, I was at that game, Oklahoma, where their football budget is 10 times what our athletic budget is. It is unfair to those student athletes, and nobody feels good. I don't care, what people say. I've seen those 70-7 games and those 54-3 games, and nobody's feeling good, and we don't learn a darn thing from playing those games. And as you can tell, it hasn't gone to the budget to benefit the program. So why in the world are we planning if they can't keep money? I say the same thing about basketball. Right now, we make our basketball team have to play like
play a gauntlet.
Yeah, $700,000 in order to make that money. They got to play like 9 games against Power 5, and they hold out of conferences on the road.
Yeah,
right.
And we never see them. So,
and then we talk about we want to build up the attendance at home. Well, it's kind of hard for people to get excited about a team that's 1-10 before they play their first home game, and there's no marquee matchup. So absolutely, our administration and our fan base, we got to look at athletics as a business, and we got to look at the whole picture, not just the check part of it.
So I think 2 things can be true. Look at what Jason Capel has done over at Alabama State. He managed to lure USC and Bronny James into his spot and got a sellout. They're and then at Alcorn, what we've done is we've managed to go and play. USM isn't. They're like Troy. They're Conference USA. their games. Gentleman just said the money's not the same. I think I would take 25% less to ensure 100% of my roster comes out, because they're not going to want to. We're going to be on these coaches' backs about wins and losses, but you sent me up here to get a check. Like I looked at Jackson State's schedule, Mo Williams in basketball. They were closer to me than I was to them. I live in St. Louis. They flew into, and this is a thing about the check. They flew into Milwaukee, drove over and played Nebraska, came back and played University of Milwaukee, came to Chicago and paid DePaul, drove down to St. Louis to play St. Louis U, stopped by and paid Arkansas State, and then drove back to Jackson with a bag of money, but they drove back 1-8.
Yeah.
And basketball is a little easier because we don't really, in our minds, we don't see the physical of what it does to you. But there's a mental piece around getting on the road, buses, and then they don't want to fly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on, talk about the check game? Alcorn, how do I sign a contract where my band doesn't show up in 2 straight check games?
So
that's crazy. We're playing Vanderbilt on September 7th, playing UAB. It's your strongest marketing tool out there other than your football team. And I gave them a suggestion. I said, ship the Golden Girls out there, invite a local band to come in and play that would love to play on a Thursday night. Ship them the music. They're going to play it just as good as we're going to play it. Put them Golden Girls out there on the field, because that's what you come to see anyway. And call it a day. Y'all don't have dancers.
So, so to your point, HBCUs from an athletic standpoint have to learn to be better partners. So here's some options. There's options out there other than just going prostitution is what we're doing. All right, let's call it what it is. So
shout out to the Blue Flame.
So here we go with, like, for instance, the game like the OBC. Okay. That is black on. Well, I mean, black, and the payout, once you consider that they're also paying for your band and the travel of your team, your per diem and all that, is similar to what we're getting for playing Miami this year, right? Because that game doesn't include any of that travel if we bring our band, nor does it include travel for the team. So I would look for the individual schools as well as the conference, and this is a big part of it, because the SWAC has a conference deal with both HBCU Go as well as ESPN. So, and we got the best classics out there.
True.
I'm looking for there's no way that a FAMU and Southern should play and the bands are not traveling to those games.
It's part of the package.
It's supposed to be part of the package, right? And it should be on TV, just like Alcorn and Jackson and those rivalry games per view in Texas Southern and everything. You have those regional rivalries that go back decades, man, and that's what should be happening. And I think that with the band travel specifically, the conference can help with that. So that, the school take care of one game, the conference need to find a way to package that, get the sponsorship for it, so that, hey, it's the SWAC Classic McDonald's halftime show.
Or at the end of the day, too, and also too, in Roy's expression that we need to wrap it up. Mm-hmm. One of the things around this too is innovation. Mm-hmm. So as I begin to study this, if the Metro Atlanta alumni chapter of FAM wants to see the band when they play, if they're going to play Georgia State short drive, but if they want to see it, I think if you give groups and organizations that want to support us enough runway and opportunity and planning, it would say, if you want to see the band, we need to commit to $18.71 a month over this. We need 1,000 people to do this. I just seen a pastor raise $4.1 million in like 20 minutes off the same type premise. Here's the number. We're going to divide it. We're going to put it into small chunks. I'm a fan of the small gift campaign. So if you look at the United Way, Ryan, you're a teacher.
No.
Okay. If the United Way is going to put a slip in our box, and it's going to say, do you agree to $25 biweekly payroll deduction? It's not a teacher at the school that doesn't check the box, send it back in the United Way, and then you start getting your email. Thanks for your donation. So you just think about that. In a district like St. Louis Public Schools that employs 5,000 people, if 50% of them do it, it's 2,500 times that amount. So those are the types of things when we talk about innovation. You know, and we expect FAMU to be able to be at the forefront of this because FAMU changed my life.
that was real smooth. How Kelvin, boy, he came back at you, right? That was good.
Well, all right, we're gonna get ready to go to break. Yes, we're still here at the Bullpen where the barbecue is amazing. Drinking on the runneth water. Come by here and get you some because as I see, we're not crowded, but I think it's buy one get one on the wings. Holler at you later.
Choice Hotels is a family of brands that helps you get the most for your money so you can be any traveler you want to be.
You could be a free hot breakfast hero at a comfort hotel.
Yes!
That's how you waffle.
Mister, this script got a plot twist at a Radisson Hotel.
A business big leaguer.
Go for key.
Even the ultimate pool float inflator.
With 22 brands and the best value for your money, Choice Hotels has a stay for any you. Book direct at choicehotels.com, where travels come true. Gotta get the corners.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head and Shoulder Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working. Head and Shoulder Scalp Shield. Never not working.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Hello and welcome back to the BCS and Game Time Show. I tell you, boy, during the commercial breaks, because why? That horse will fly, will get you going. Listen, man, we've had a ball down here at Bullpen, man. I'm telling y'all, the food is great. So when you're down here tomorrow, we know there's going to be a lot of people out there tailgating and whatnot, but if you want to get here a little early, check out some of the stuff that's going on. Come on in and grab you something. Tell them that the Black College Sports Network sent you. We'll be back doing more stuff with them throughout this, actually the full athletic season or pro football season and stuff. We're going to be looking at doing some things. Having a lot of fun. Marcus, man, hey, grab the microphone, Marcus. So, how's your recent trip to Atlanta? How you feeling so far? You ready for this thing, man, to get going?
I am ready. It's good to be back. It came down in December for a celebration bowl.
Yep.
This is my hometown.
That's right. You from the deck.
Yep, that's right, from Decatur. So now come back, from being up north and taking everything in. So I'm ready for the game. And I'm just like, it's at 7:30. I'm like, I just want to go ahead and get the ball kicked off. But I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Brian, what about you, man?
It's gonna be a long day tomorrow because I know you got us showing up at we've got the not that you got it, but anyway, we got the pregame show tomorrow. And then I'm working. So yeah, I'm working, and then hopefully we'll be doing a post game show. So I mean, it'll be it'll be a full day. It'll be a full day. I like Kevin shaking his head. Well, so, some of us will be doing the post game show. Some of us will be doing the post game show. I try to say it now while everyone's here in the room. Yeah. And so it's gonna be a long day, but it'll be fun. Looking forward to the start of the 2024 season.
Well, folks, again, we've definitely enjoyed it. Thank you guys for tuning in and kicking it with us. But as Brian did say, you can check us out. The official Game Time, BCSN Game Time show is going to be in tomorrow. We launch at 3:00 with our week 0 stuff. And we'll be getting it in, talking about the game. Of course, 90% of what we talk about tomorrow is going to be centered around the MEAC SWAC Challenge, what to look forward to for the season, and some of these other conversations. Great conversations that the guys just had with Kelvin Carter, member of the team. And listen, man, there's so many things that we as the HBCU alumni base can do. It just takes us taking the time and making the effort to do them. We can do away with these check games, beat down games, whatever you want to call them, for our programs. We have to stop playing those games. In football, it is physically dangerous for our teams to continue to play these games. In basketball, it is a mental beatdown that we do not need to have. But again, it's going to take us as the fans to be the ones to do this. All the folks who are tuning in, checking in with us during the chat, Edwin, Mary 305. I see EA finally jumped in. I hadn't seen him in there doing some stuff. He's been EA. EA. And
yeah, I might have to go get some of those lemon pepper wings.
From here or from another place?
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, those lemon pepper wings that he's talking about over there across from the bus station.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're just not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. Make sure you tune in tomorrow, folks. 3 p.m. We'll be there. We'll be joined by Dr. Cavill. I think Charles is gonna be in the building. See who else from the network is gonna roll down with us. Of course, before that, make sure you check out the Carlos Brown Show, 12 noon Eastern. It'll be on, getting live. He'll be talking about the same stuff, the game getting ready to get kicked in. Again, stay tuned with us. Follow, like us everywhere. Be ready. We're going to have more information. We need you guys. Start back interacting with us again. We used to have that chat feature and people engaging during the games. Once the Game Time show does kick off, we will be doing watch parties throughout the season. So the watch parties, listen, if you've ever hung out with us on the watch party, it's a lot of fun. And we're working on some things. So we may go to specific cities and even do watch parties. Like, who knows? We may, week 1 is next week. And our game is Sunday because we'll be down at the Orange Blossom Classic. Hey, Miss Kendra, we coming. And we'll actually be doing a live audio broadcast of that game. But we will, that game is on Sunday. So that means we're going to be primed to do a watch party from somewhere at somebody's place that's selling some wings in Miami and enjoying ourselves and having a lot of fun. So definitely make sure you keep us in, check us out, and get some things going. So for Calvin Carter, for Antoine Dwayne Jones, for Calvin Rozier, Marcus Green, and their lovely wives who are here. There it is. For this guy here, Brian Fulford, I am Roy Evans. This is the BCSN Game Time Show. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.